Welcome to the Canadian Scrapbooker Magazine web show. My name is Jackie. Wondering how to use your Position It? On today's show, Cathie Allan is here to teach you some cool black and white classic techniques that you're going to love. Come right back. Look who's here! Cathie Allan is here today. I love having you on the show. Thanks for coming back, Cathie.
Oh, no problem. Love it coming here. This is just the highlight.
Cathie is the co-writer of Canadian Scrapbooker Basics, Volume 6. She is the creative mind behind some funky, fun, cool stamping techniques. Cathie really is the stamping guru. And today she is here to show you how to create some awesome white images on black cardstock, which is actually hard to get a really crisp image. And she's going to show you how to do that using her Position It. And this is Cathie's Position It. Cathie actually designed and created this Position It with her 25 years of stamping experience. I actually think that Cathie was born with a stamp pad in her hand. That's how amazing this woman is. So Cathie, take it away and show us how to get this amazing look.
Oh, thank you, Jackie. I do want to share this. This is a really good tool. It's not a tool. There's been many formats of this type of tool that have been out on the market. But what we've done is we've made some changes so that it was just a little bit easier to use. I think we did a Webisode 15.
We did.
Where we did an introduction and we showed you a number of techniques on that Webisode. And what I'm going to do here is take it a little bit further. And what we're going to be playing with is, as Jackie said, black and white classic elegance. I love doing this. There are sometimes that a picture is so beautiful. Like
Isn't that beautiful?
My daughter and grandson doesn't need a whole lot.
No.
And all I want
You're
to do...
looking at black cardstock, a stamp pad, and a white stamp pad and a stamp, and that's what she did here to create this gorgeous. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you because I get excited every time I see
Yes,
it.
I love this photo, so it doesn't need a whole lot. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take this beautiful Spellbinders nestability shape.
This is, I have it right here. That's what you cut that out of, and you used your grand caliber.
Yes.
These die cuts slice like butter.
Yes. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this beautiful shape and I'm going to get a hold of my temporary adhesive from 3L that is going to hold the shape to my scrap paper really securely, but when I want the adhesive to come off, it will come off beautifully, leaving no residue behind.
So you're basically just stabilizing it on your workstation.
Yeah.
You're not adhering it there forever.
Because
so that's
when
why
I
we use the reposition.
And you'll see why I need this scrap paper in just a minute.
Okay.
I'm going to take my stamp, which is a magenta stamp, and I've already got it stuck to my block. Okay. And I'm going to place it onto my cardstock where I want to see it. And you can see that I like things to go beyond the edge. I just feel that it has more flow. And I'm going to take my sub positioner and stuff that around the corner, and you can stuff and just tuck that right into the corner, and we're ready to go.
And Cathie, that's why you have the sub position it so that you can move it around, because this one stays in place, right?
That one stays in place. It
So
can
that's-
be used as a
yeah.
positioner, but for this one, released from the board, it's a positioner on the board. It means that we can now stamp the image in the same place over and over again.
Perfect.
But to have that, we need everything locked down, including the paper. So I'm just using some good old removable tape just to hold it onto the
Scotch
board.
tape to hold it onto the board.
Yep, you can find that anywhere. And now I can go in here and stamp my image. We're going to use fluid chalk. Fluid chalk is a type of ink. It's a blend. It's pigment and dye, and therefore it's got qualities of both. The pigment is going to allow us to see the image because it's going to be happy to sit on top of the paper, and the dye is going to allow it to dry quickly. So we can take that, we can ink our image.
And then because you're using the fluid chalk, you get that little chalk-like look too, and because you're using the Position It, we can make it darker and darker, so you get the chalk effect, darker and darker and darker. That's
and we're going to build the value. So here comes value number 1. Always pull your sub into the corner so everything's secure, and you're going to stamp your image. Now that looks nice, but it is not a very strong image. What I want it nice and white.
Yeah, we want it nice and dark.
So we're going to do that again. And the beauty of this is nothing is moved. Even if you take this out and wave it around, because everything's locking into the corner the next time that you go and stamp down.
And look at the detail, because you're using the Position It, the detail is coming out over and over and over again.
This is, it's so tiny, and yet because we've got a nice thick positioner, it's easy to get in the corner and come down on top, so that we get a beautiful image. And we could stamp this as many times as we want to get this gorgeous, gorgeous white image on top of black paper. Now what we're going to do, we're going to put that aside.
Okay.
And we're going to do this other image here that we have on the card. Okay.
Okay.
And it's basically
so
the reverse.
The one that you just created was that one.
Exactly.
So now you're going to do this one.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you look at them, they're
see?
almost like mirror images of each other. And people are going to say to you, "How did you do that?" And you're going to say it was really hard.
Cathie's going to show you.
Okay. So we're going to take this. We're going to take our scrap paper now, and we can take off the board because we've used a removable tape that wants to stick. There we go. And we're going to, in honor of my friend Connie, who is in the room, I'm going to be very frugal.
Our frugal scrapbooker.
Our frugal scrapbooker. And we're just going to tuck the tape underneath the paper so that we can use the same piece of scrap paper over again. Okay. Now,
You're making Connie proud.
I see, I learned. I can be taught. Okay, so I'm going to take the acrylic sheet that comes in with your Position It, and I'm going to tuck it into the corner.
Okay.
Because what I've done here, and I've done it previously, so we didn't have to clean the stamp, is I now inked the stamp, and I'm going to choose from my petal point a dark color of fluid chalk, which is the brown.
Okay.
I'm going to ink the stamp with the fluid chalk, and I'm going to stamp it down, guide it down onto my board.
Perfect.
So we end up with a fluid chalk image, and I stamped it, of course, this morning on the board that's dry. This can be removed with a good stamp cleaner, but it keeps it from getting all over my hands and elbows when I'm working.
Perfect.
So it's on there.
So that becomes like your map. Your map of where you want the stamp to go on there.
That's a great adjective.
It's a map.
It's a map. So now what I'm going to do...
That's why they pay me the big bucks.
There we go. Can you see? Hopefully you can see that. And I can see where the brown is, so I can actually get this exactly where I want it. I'm going to take my sub-positioner, tuck it into the corner, and now guide the whole thing. Oops.
Oh.
And I'm going to see, when I did this, I can see I actually need a little bit of help. Because this is all going to get involved by going underneath the main positioner, so I'm going to reach over here and I'm going to grab another sub-positioner.
I see, because this paper ran into here.
Yeah.
So you want to make it so that there's more rooms that you can put the stamp right where you are.
So it's easier.
So you're going to go ahead and apply another sub-position it to this little gadget of love.
And so we can stick that in there, and now look how much easier it was to get in the corner.
Perfect.
Okay, so now we can see, and you can twist this because it's on the scrap paper. You can actually maneuver the paper underneath till you get it exactly where you want. Okay,
cool.
And now we're going to move both sub-positioners and move them out of the way.
So that
I can tape it down.
Buddy down.
Tape it down well. The only thing that go wrong here is getting cheap on the
Yes.
tape and having the paper move.
Yeah, if it moves.
Then you're hooped. So now this moves away. You put that inside. You put both positioners, however many positioners you needed, and we're going to take the stamp.
There you go.
And we're going to take that image and we're going to ink it with our fluid chalk. And this is popcorn. Now, this does not have to be dark because we're going to do something a little bit different. All I want it to do is just see the image. Okay? That's all I want it to do. Because now we're going to fill in the white color. We want this white. We want it to be
Yeah.
white.
So right now you have that, and this one has got all this white. So she's going to show you how to do that.
Okay. Now to do that, I needed to create a reverse mask. From Judykins, we have beautiful art masking tape. I love this stuff. It is a delicately sticky adhesive. And it's all over it. And you can see I stamped it onto a piece of the adhesive. the Eclipse tape, and now I
Right.
can take that off. I just stuck it to a piece of acetate here.
Okay.
There it
Oops,
comes
'cause
out.
you, oops, that's okay.
That's okay,
Because
it'll
you
be fine.
created a mask.
I created a mask, and now we can just put that around the image. And it's going to protect everything else, and you're going to see why I need that. There we go. Actually, having it ripped is going to make it a little easier to get it perfect. So sometimes
Perfect.
mistakes are a great thing.
So, and Cathie, this tape is not going to stick to the, it's not going to rip or tear the cardstock.
No, it's beautiful, and that's why they call it art masking tape. Now we're going to take our trusty paintbrush for our stamp pads, the stylus, and the foam tip.
Must have.
And we're simply going to pounce in the white color into our image.
And all of you at home are wondering, what the heck is this crazy woman doing? Just wait and you'll see in a second.
Yeah, we're whiting it out. Okay, and fluid chalk dries really, really quickly. So this is
And you
why
have a nice juicy ink pad here too, I see,
I
hey?
do, because
It's important to re-ink them.
always.
Yeah.
And with fluid chalk, remember you need to shake it because it's a blend of pigment and dye. The pigment's going to sink to the bottom, the dye's going to sit on top, so you have to make like the Canadian Tire, can I say Canadian Tire?
You can,
Canadian Tire paint shaker, and really mix that up.
Make sure the lid's on when you shake it.
And then you will have a juicy pad, and that's how you keep your pads in good condition, by keeping them well inked.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they'll last for years. This pad that I'm using here is years old. I just keep re-inking it and re-inking it.
Technically, you should never have to buy an ink pad, just the re-inkers for it.
Exactly.
So, yeah, if you take good care of it.
Once you buy it once. And what you're going to do is you're going to keep this, and I'm going to give it to Jackie, and she
And
can
I'll
put
it
it on.
back on there for sure for next time.
And you can use this over and over and over again, many times when you're doing a big project.
Perfect.
Okay.
Let's see if I can do this without
So
it.
now we're going to do this. We're going to put this in place, and we're going to take our stamp, and we're going to ink it again. Notice I put both positioners back in place, and I'm going to flip to pigment ink. Now we need to flip to pigment ink because pigment needs to sit on top. And because this is a very fresh image, if we were to use another dye-based, any
It
kind
would
of blend
bleed a
on top
bit.
would bleed.
Bleed. So we
And
want
I
nice
want it
crisp lines.
Yep.
So I see that you're just inking right over top the fluid chalk ink with your black, and that's okay because you're working from light ink color to a dark ink color.
You've been paying attention.
I have been taking some classes with the Cathie Allan.
Okay, so you're going to pull those sub-positioners in place, and you're going to
And it's
stamp
going to
your
stamp it
image.
exactly the same. Look at that because of the position.
It's beautiful, but
watch
it's
what
not
you're gonna
dark
do.
for me.
Watch what she's gonna do. She's
It's
gonna do it
not
again.
dark enough for me. I like it dark. I like to deepen that value. It's all about getting crisp, clean, beautiful images, and look at the value that we've built on this.
Wow.
So you end up with very unique projects, creating opposites of your stamps. You've got solid images. You've got the black popping out, okay?
That's beautiful, Cathie.
It makes such a beautiful project. You can see
I'm
here.
gonna move this away so we can put it down right here where everyone can see it.
There we go. In the book, when you see the Scrapbooking Basic Books, Volume 6,
Right here.
You
I'm
will-
gonna slide that in there too so everyone can see. 'Cause
there
that's,
you go. This is the tag that is in the book that's done with an Impression Obsession stamp.
Right.
And you can see here we've worked with a magenta stamp. Absolutely tons of detail, deep, deep value. And then look at the
Look where you can
cards
take it.
and the scrapbook pages.
Yes.
By cutting them out, assembling them. You're going to be happy playing with this for quite some time. A little bit of black and white elegance.
Cathie used basil cardstock for the foundation of this gorgeous black and white classic card. The ribbon is May Arts ribbon. The stamp, that gorgeous flower stamp, is from Magenta. The ink is from Clear Snap, Fluid Chalk ink, and Pigment ink. Cathie also used a stylus and wet foam tips to create that detailed white image. Cathie used her Cathie Allan Position It. The die cut in the background is from Spellbinders, and Cathie used the Grand Caliber to cut it out. This entire layout is stuck together using scrapbook adhesives by 3L, their tape runner, and their foam square. Cathie, wow. Isn't she amazing? You know what, if you don't already have Canadian Scrapbooker Basics Volume 6, you need to pick this up. This is just one little tiny thing that is amazing that Cathie has taught in here that is going to take your projects from wow to wow. Hey, Cathie?
You too will love your stamps.
You too will love your stuff. Cathie, thank you so much for coming
thank
on the
you.
show. You have to come back again anytime.
I will, just for cucumber water.
Just for cucumber water. Take care, everybody, and happy scrapbooking.